The recent debate in St. Lucia regarding the Panama accounts linked to Taiwanese funding for the St. Jude Hospital reconstruction project during the previous UWP executive has brought to light the question of whether the citizenship by investment CIP disbursements are deposited into the consolidated funds. It is a counter-argument bandied by the now opposition in response to the criticism over why the loan funds for the project during their tenure in office in 2020 were not deposited in the Consolidated Fund as required by law. Tourism Minister Dr. Ernest Hilaire addressed the issue during the weekly cabinet media briefing, aiming to clarify any misunderstandings about the CIP program and the Consolidated Fund. He cautions against conflating the two issues.
The law says that donations must go to the National Economic Fund. Revenue earned from the donation option goes to the National Economic Fund, and that happens. So all the monies that are earned from the donation option goes to the National Economic Fund. The bonds go to the Ministry of Finance, because these are government saving bonds, and there is legislation that says when you float a bond, blah, 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 the money comes to the Ministry of Finance, which is a consolidated fund. So the bonds go to the Ministry of Finance, the Treasury. The donation goes to the National Economic Fund.
Hilaire explained that according to the CIP law, any revenue obtained through donations are transferred to the National Economic Fund, while bonds are sent to the Finance Ministry for the consolidated funds. Dr. Hilaire added that the Finance Minister has discretion over the use of excess fees.
Any savings or excess of revenue over expenditure on operational, and let me explain to you. There are a number of fees that are charged: due diligence fees, administrative fees, application fees, whatnot. At the end of the year, you have a statement of all the fees you earn and how much it took you to run the organization, salaries, rental, whatnot. Any excesses, the Minister of Finance directs how it should be done. That was what happened in the last government. The Minister of Finance then, Alan Chesley, gave instructions that the monies has to go to the Consolidated Fund or to use otherwise. So he used some of the money to give for the expo in Dubai. Remember that? So as Minister of Finance, you direct how the money should be spent for whatever purposes, and the law gives you the right as Minister of Finance to do that. And it's no different. There's nothing we're doing now that is different to what they did. Nothing.
The National Economic Fund was established on July 2, 2019, under St. Lucia Act No. 18 of 2019 for the purpose of citizenship by donation investment. Before its establishment, the Citizenship by Investment Unit remitted cash disbursements to the government of St. Lucia through the Consolidated Fund. It is interesting to note that the National Economic Fund was codified during the Alan Chasney administration after the UWP leader railed against the CIP law that, in his view, established the fund in principle but not in practice. Gina Filippi, HDS News Force.